first chapter of mathematics, and it's quite annoying. I'll be upfront and honest about that. As an AS student right now, I'm about to finish AS. It was quite annoying for me to complete. However, it's actually free marks as soon as you start getting, as soon as you learn, as soon as you start developing a passion for it. Now, during this so when you're doing this chapter, you need to know this symbol C, N, C, and then whatever blah blah number you need to have under it. Now, binomial expansion, right, basically means that we basically, in simple leeway terms, I can explain this whole statement to you as the expansion of a term like a plus b, which is above square. Now, of course, back in IGCSE, we learned, we learned a square plus 2ab plus b square. Now, you can't just do 3 or pair. We can replace this. Simply not possible. We need to use a different type of formula, which is known as the binomial theorem. So according to the binomial theorem, we lay out a number like this. Now, you wish we could go back to the square days, but they're way on this now. Now, when you see a plus b cubed, this is above squared, which, the examiner hates us quite clearly. So what we need to do is we have 3 over here. I'm giving a very simple explanation. First of all, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. Before you start this chapter, you need to know 3 things. 3C0 or anything. First, if you have a Casio FX991EX, I'm reading this off the top, solar panel. Like in your calculator, you'll have like this solar panel, excuse my handwriting, drawing. You'll have this solar panel area. Right next to it, some text. Now, if it says Casio FX991EX class whiz, it's good. It can be just any Casio because I'm just, most AS students usually use Casio calculators. All you need to do is press shift and divide. Now, the number you put before, you'll get this symbol on your calculator display. I'm going to make it right over here. Now, the number you put over here is going to be this. And the number you below comes right after. Now, 3C0 or 4C0 or 5C0, any number. Now, this is not necessary to know. You can just plug it into a calculator, but it just makes everything so much quicker. Now, we already know that's just going to be 1. And any number, and I'm just going to use the number n. I don't feel like doing 3, 4, 5. NC1, that will go plug in any number into your calculator and put 1 as a bottom number. You'll always get n as a product. This is not necessary to know. It just makes everything so much quicker. Like, for example, 2 times 2, you need to know that's 4. Instead of just going back to your calculator, do that process over and over again, it just makes things so much more quicker. Now you have a plus b cubed. Actually, why don't we start with n? Cube we'll do later, just for simple understanding purposes. Now what we do, n, C0, a, n, and then b, this number, 0. Now, any number, we've learned from IGCSE that once we put any number, I hate this Apple pen. When we put any number with 0, you'll always get 1. 2, 0, you'll get 1. Right, so we'll be right to just cancel this right off. So if you want to save even more space, because, it's a paper, save space, all the merrier. You can just not write this at all, the examiner won't really care. Then you do plus n, c, then you do 1. A. Now here's the part. Now this won't be n. This will be n minus 1. We'll have b, this below number, 1. And the whole process repeats until eventually n, c, n, when they're all equal. And the final, let me just put dot, until we reach this point where both bottom and top of c will be equal. So we would be right to just do n this, and since a is n minus the below number, n minus n it will just be 0, right? So same thing as we did up here, we just cancel this right off.